we will learn how we can use the templates. Okay, the templates are like to send the emails or to display information which is in either PDF format or in the doc format. Okay, or in general in a text format. So before we go into that, let me first actually show you what is Salesforce offers in terms of sending the emails. And this is the same functionality we will also use, but in different objects and in velocity platforms. Okay, so initially, if you need to send any email to Salesforce, you need to first configure the templates. All right, let's quickly check the options that we have in templates. We have these four options. First one is the text, second is the HTML, then custom, and then VF, right? The simplest one is the text, which means you have a defined text body. You don't want any you actually don't want any customization in terms of UI, then you will go for text. Same goes for HTML. You have HTML support, and there you will also use letterhead, and without letterhead VF page for more complex process, right? Same thing in Velocity also. We have something called Velocity document template. Okay, let me first open that. Okay, so they have created one object for Velocity document template. They call it Velocity or Omni Studio document template. This template is actually the entry point. It asks you the same thing that your Salesforce is asking you, which type of template you want to create, right? So let's quickly go and create a new template. There is one more way, which is what called PDF actions, which we will talk after the end of the session. And that PDF action you will never use because it has very much restrictions in terms of doing any development. All right. So see, the first section is entering the name. So this is same thing. You need to write any name of your template. Then you will see there are three options actually. One is the web template. This web template is same thing that is written here, text. You can also see this section which gives you option to add or any update anything based on the settings bold or something, right? You all can do based on all those things, right? You basically, the first option is used when you don't have much customizations. Okay, let's say you just want to send a message welcome letter to your customer where there is no UI involved. You just want to simply write some of the text lines and then you will trigger it. In most of the time, it is also recommended not to go with this option. Why? Let me tell you. Because this web template simply doesn't have more flexibility in terms of providing you any dynamic values. You always need to rely on hard coded values, right? Even if there is a need where you need to provide some hard coded values, you can go for PDF actions. You don't need to actually create a individual object record to just send some static information. Okay, but Velocity also offers you one option where you can go and create those things. We'll discuss about PDF action in the last, like I said, but the PDF action is very good when you have static information. Static means some hard coded information which doesn't require anything dynamic value from the object or any record. Okay, then you will go for PDF actions. Same thing here also. Velocity web templates also does the same thing. Okay, so why to create one more additional record and call it to your OmniScript again, right? When you have direct option in OmniScript, that's why you probably never use this web template. The thing that you will use is this document and PPT. Okay, same thing here also, HTML and VF page. You can consider these two things like that only. So document means when you have prepared the template in document. Okay, same PPT, you have prepared your template in PowerPoint. Okay, this is not something that user, it's not like if you selected doc doc type, then the where you're sending it, they will use in the same format and they will not use in a PPT, right? That's not the thing. It is asking you to upload something, right? It is here, it is saying to drag any file. That means the file that we will drag is should be in DOC type. Okay, same for here. The file that we drag, it should be in PPT type. Okay, let's take an example of DOC today. Okay, and then we will check how we can use the dynamic values and all, but first let's check other options. Default language, it is saying which language you are using in your doc type. Why they give you an option? Because if you select any apart from anything in English, then they will take care about the special characters also, right? Because in some languages there are some special character, and then this VF page will not treat those characters as part of HTML when they actually convert this. Okay, so that's why they have given you option. If it is non-English language, then they will use the escape HTML uh, technologies where they, if there is any special character, they will first convert it into uh, binary 32, and then before sending this or before displaying this, they will again convert that to text. Okay, then tokens mapping, will discuss this. It will always JSON. All right. So let's go back to here. Let's say we have selected HTML with letterhead and we do the next. Okay. Next thing, yeah, it asks you to create a, I think, letterhead. Let me first go back and create this one custom without letterhead. Just focus on the steps that we do in Salesforce. Next thing, it is asking you the name and all, right? User accessibility, folder name and all those things. Let's quickly do that. Let me give you a random value. Go next. Okay. Then it asks you to create a body. Okay, and subject. Here the body and subject we actually write in it in this template, which is DOC template. Okay, your template can have entire see, if you selected doc type, you don't need to take care about HTML, right? Because all the actions, all the UI you can handle through doc type. So it will make our job more easy to handle the UI. Okay, the template is something looking like this. Let's say this is the template I want to use. Also enable it. So let's say this is the template you need to send. Let's first check this template. Okay, there is a don't focus on those curly brackets. We'll talk about it, but just focus on the UI part. We have one image. We have a table with some native styling. Okay, then we have a image here also, and there is a company name written here also, and those are some conditions related to the whatever it is, right? There is also condition. So the thing that I want to convey here is, in Salesforce we need to take care about HTML part in terms of doing the designing. Okay, but in Velocity we don't need to take care of that part because they have given us an option to do this with the help of DOC. Okay, this template most probably your client or in Jira wherever you work, they will provide you. Okay, instead of writing this thing, they will directly provide you a mock template where they will directly bind the values of the actual values, right? This thing we need to remove and make it soft coded. Okay, but before that you need to take care what is the type of the template that they are giving. Are they giving a PPT template or the doc template? These two templates are only supported. If they give any other format, then we need to convert them into Word document, and then we need to upload it to the here. The max size is 38. Just in case if the size is exceeding 30, exceeding 38, we need to create two things. We need to divide this into two parts and call both of them in OmniScripts. Okay, that means we need to create one template to handle first view and other template to handle other view. Okay, this is something that we need to take care. Before I go and explain about the bindings of the fields, any questions? Okay, all right, so let's discuss about the bindings. Okay, there are, let me write those things. See, whenever we work on any binding, we have to understand what are the total type of variables we can do. Okay, so let's take let's discuss whatever we have done in steps. Right, first step that is requiring here, we need to create a velocity document template. Right, let me write that down. Velocity. Okay, this This is the object name. There you need to create a new name. You need to name your template. Then you need to provide the values here like this: template name, template doc type, and up to this level like token mapping you need to give. The next thing that you need to do is what are the temp options that you want to bind. Okay, now let's discuss about the variables that we are handling in the Word document. Second thing is you need a doc or PPT type. PPT. Okay, you need this thing. Once you have those things, next thing that you need to take care, now your job get started as a developer. You need to think what are the variables that you have. Let's say the first variable is string. Next variable, maybe it is let's say a string or integer. Okay, it is a single variable. Getting it? It's not a list. That's all I want to convey. It is a single variable. Okay. Next thing is, let's say we have list. We also need to, let's say there we get a quote record. Okay, in that quote record we have quote line item that we need to display all quote line items related to that quote record. So in that case, that quote record will be treated as a list. Sorry, quote line item will be treated as a list, and that quote record values will be treated as a string. So this is the way we need to handle. Next thing that we need to handle is conditions. Let's say this says if anything like line number is missing, and display this information. Then display line number 4 to, let's say, 10. Else let's say 11 to 15. Okay, this is the thing that we need to handle. These are the usual stuffs that if we need, then we go for either HTML templates or go for VF based templates here, right? But here, since they give us only one option, sorry, literally two options in general, where we can either upload document or PPT. So these variables we need to take care in our document only. Okay, here only. So now let me introduce the nomenclature. This is what called token names. Okay, token variables. All those three called token variables, and those token variables are either a single value or a list. Okay, and this called conditional elements. Okay, token variables, if it is a single, then it starts with double curly brackets. Okay, here you need to define the name of the variable. I will tell you from where this variable will bind the value. That's a separate thing we'll discuss after this. But make sure if it is a single value, you need to follow the syntax. Here you need to write this, and here you will write my value. Okay, whatever the variable name you need to bind. Clear? Next is the list. See, list is something, if I talk about, let's say if I talk about a VF page, then we use Apex speed block, right? Okay, that we use. In between these blocks, I also use tables. Yeah, I also use tables. Inside tables, I use tr, td, all those things, right? The thing that I want to convey here, between these lines, between line number 10 and line number 14, there are elements which I want to repeat. Same goes here also. If it is a list element, let's say if it is a line item, we want to repeat some table, right? We want to repeat any information in between these for that list, right? So here what they did is, instead of using repeat, what they said, you need to define your list like this. You use hashtag and then your list. Start with this. Okay, then between those lines you can define whatever you want, and you need to close this also. And for closing this, you need to use this string. Okay, where my list is the variable name of whatever holding in the list, which if hashtag, that means it is starting, if backslash, that means it is ending. Clear? Let me also write those things here. It starts with this and ends with this. Okay, why did they did that? Because we need to repeat anything inside the list, right? It's not, we are not, you need to understand, we are not, this template is not a backend element, it is a front end element. And when it is a front end element, it needs to handle the repeat part, it needs to generate the HTML. For that, it needs to know what all the information that I need to repeat. Okay, that's why this is, if you name anything like this and you start with hashtag, that means I will consider this as a list. Okay, and all the value between starting and end, I will repeat those values. Now it could be a single string. Okay, it could be a Word document, like inside that we need to write, let's say we need to create a table, then inside Word document we will create a table, and that table you will see it is repeating as per the as per the values in the list. Okay, we will see this in the template. I have used all those things here, but I'm just giving you a background. So this is how we will identify whether it is a list or it is a single variable. Now, also we need to take care about the conditions, right? So let's say how we write conditions in cells, VF pages. In VF pages, we have the syntax where we write if, right? And then we use condition, and then true, then false, right? This is the way we use, right? Here also, this is having a similar syntax. Let me show you how. You need to use double brackets, and then you need to use hashtag, and then you need to write if, and then you need to use underscore. Okay, and then you need to define a variable. If uh, is you is true. So this is true is the variable name which needs to return either true or false, and which use like this. You need to write hashtag if and then. Okay, and it also complete with this. Whatever you want to display, you need to write in between, and then you need to use backslash n. Okay, this is how it will work. And let's say this is if statement, right? We also have else statements. For that, again, we need to use this. So this will be considered as else statement, and it will end with this also. Same thing. Okay, clear? So those are the syntax that we need to follow whenever we uh, try to add any variables into the template. Now let me show you how we have used in our template. So any questions at this level, like the basic syntaxing? Let me repeat whatever we did in up to this level. First of all, we need to go and create a velocity document template. When you need to explore this option, when you want to send any mail or display any information which require any dynamic values. Okay, which is having any dependency on current record ID, or it could be anything, user record table you want to query, or any basically dynamic information which you want to query and display into the UI or send into the PDF format or doc format or any format, right? Then you need to go for velocity document template. Then you need to ask your business which type of document they are providing, which type of initial document they are providing. If it is PPT, then select the PPT option. If it is doc, then select doc type. And you need to update all those things. If let's say in your template there are couple of things that needs to be hard coded, just keep them like that only. But there's something which you need to soft code. Let's say company name, city information, address information, phone number. All those things are single variables. You can replace those variables like this. Okay, we will discuss from where this value is coming, but first you need to do, you need to replace and give some name, and you need to use double curly brackets. Okay, if it is a list, then you need to take care that list is having a repeat nature, right? So all those values which you want to repeat under that list, you need to add this thing inside the between these two lines, right? That means you need to start it from hashtag and end from backslash. Okay, same goes for conditions also. You need to start this from hashtag and you also need to write if underscore. This is you need to write. This is part of syntax. And then you need to write the name of your variable. Okay, same goes here. You need to use backslash and complete it. And if it is else statement, you need to write this up arrow mark if and then. You need to close this like that only. Okay, so that's a basic syntax. In generally, we do only these three options, right? We have a single information, we have a list information, or we have a conditional element. Those things Salesforce also supports. Okay, now let's quickly jump and check the our template. So that's a template. Let's say they have given it's a image. It keep it like image only. Write the write the hard coded information like code for, and this is the company name. Okay, you need to write this syntax. Same goes here also, city, state, country, and then you need to write the product summary. Now see, I have used this. That means, sorry, not this. Yeah. So all the information, search this. All the information between these two tags will get repeat based on the line items. Okay, this line item is basically quote line items. So all the quote line item details will get repeat itself like this. And we also have a is if statement, right? If this variable is true, which is this top value. Okay, if this is true, then this information will run. Otherwise, this information it will display only this product name and the quantity. Okay, if this top value product is false, then it will show only this information. Clear? And this is nothing but a table. And this is the name of the product. And again, this is a single variable. You can also write this thing like this is a single variable and this is the maybe UM, which we don't want to dynamically pass. So they directly put months. Okay, those things we will again discuss from where this value is coming, but as of now you can consider this as a single variable, this is as a list, and this is as a conditional element. Okay, and after this you will always have some static information if it is a contract, right? So those are the hard-coded values which you need to provide like that only. There's no change, so they will automatically be like this only. Same here also, they have used a condition element. If it is true, then they will display this information. Otherwise, they will write this line only. Okay, any question in terms of design? Clear, right? This is a simple example that I basically used. If there is a complex example also, you need to follow the same structure. Okay, there should be a table, or you don't want to display any table, that's also fine. You can write any line here, right? It's Word document, all those things it has the support. You can write any image, you can write any signature or anything, right? It will get repeated itself like this only. Okay, clear, right? All right, let's. Mhm.
Table will repeat by itself when it iterates over item.
Sorry.
About
Yes.
now what I was saying, like here, the table that we are seeing here in the product summary, that will
Mhm.
get repeated based on the number of line items.
Right, right. It will get repeat. Any even this product name also get repeated. This
Okay,
line will also get repeated. If this statement is not true, then this particular line will get repeated. Even if I write
okay,
any static value, if I write any text also, this will also get repeated.
okay.
So the rule of
Then,
thumb is anything
okay,
between these two texts will get repeated.
okay. Then another point, there we have used the variable. Instead,
Mhm.
can we use like saying the size greater than zero or something? In the if condition, we talked about if, then underscore, then keep the variable name. So I'm wondering, is this specific only for the variable name, or can we write any
No, no, no,
expressions?
no, we can't write any expression. This needs to be true or false. And from where you will write those expression, we'll discuss. Like
Yeah.
basically all those expression you need to write before, I mean, all those expression you need to write and assign to this variable, top level product.
Okay. Right.
Okay,
Okay.
those level of computation we need to do in somewhere else, but in this table it is only expecting true or false.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go and check other options. See, we have discussed about the HTML part, which is just the UI part, right? Here also, if I compare this with the VF template or anything, it is just saying values and all. We have done that, but from where the value actually get generated, what will be the source of data? Let's see those options. You need to take care about these two things. This source will be either a data raptor or a custom class. Okay, custom class, why? Because if something is already written and you have already well formatted written response, then you can go for custom classes. You need to write the name of the classes and then you can do your work. But in most of the time, you need to go for data raptors because the intention of Velocity is to reduce the coding and use the native platforms, right? So native platform is data raptor, but there's a problem in data raptor. Data raptor always work on a JSON format, right? That means if we directly bind whatever we have done here, then the information, those variables, your data raptor will not understand what is this country name. What they understand is the JSON, right? They will return you response in JSON. So that's why we need a middleware also which convert the value of data raptor and store it in the variable and then then call this template and display this information. Okay, those middlewares are called the uh, extract actions. Okay, those things we need to use transform actually. So let me write this down. Data. Okay, so we have done this. Let's third point is data. Okay, in data we have again two options. One is data raptor, DRs. Second is your Apex. We need to control the behavior by two things. One is the extract action and second one is the transform. Let me tell you what is this. See, extract action is our normal data raptor extract action that we have created. Now, what is transform basically? Transform is used whenever you need to convert your output of your data raptor to something defined format. Okay, then we need to use data raptor transform actions. This is the third action in data raptor, right? Remember we discussed about the one data raptor which is extract action. We also discuss about the where we only use one object, right? I'm just forgetting the name, but there are three things, right? So this third one is the transform. The output of your extract action will be treated as an input of your transform, and the output of the transform will be treated as the input of your template, and all the variable that you're seeing will be controlled by this transform. Okay, first you need to name your variable in your template, or you can also name your variable in transform, but make sure those variable are same. Okay, what I mean by same is they are case sensitive, so you need to also take care m is caps, v is caps. Okay, those things you need to take care, but the direct mapping of your data and your template will be done by transform only. So let me actually first show you how we can create a transform. I've already one transform. Let me check that. This one. Hmm, Data Raptor. Or let's do one thing. Let's first check the normal extract action, and then we'll discuss about the transform. Let me open these two side by side. Let's check this. All right. Let me also tell you one more option. You also, yeah. See, sorry. Yeah. One more thing that you observe, there is only one place where we can add data raptor. There's no other place where we can add data raptor. That means in OmniScript we have option where we can control multiple data raptors. We can create multiple data raptors and use it. But here there is a restriction. We can only use one data raptor. That means if let's say this code, this particular PDF or this particular document requiring four objects. Okay, there are let's say four object data that we need to display. In that case, all those four objects we need to write in our one data raptor. Here you can see there is a quote, there's a account, there's a quote line item, and there is a product and account also. Okay, based on the conditions, I have maintained only one data raptor. Okay, and this is the structure that I have used. Okay, I have created this structure because we have only one data raptor to display. So that will be, you can consider this as a limitation also. Okay, you can't add multiple data raptors here. So whatever value that you want to display, you need to make sure that all the variables that you're calling are controlled by this only. Okay, so here I have used multiple, total five. I have used five objects to do the query. So that's why you will see all your five objects need to part of here only. Okay, and then it's a normal thing. We have some fields here, right? We are querying all those fields, and this is the thing basically. In at this level, you can consider there is something called quote, and then is something called line item. So all this information is coming from that only. Okay, and there is a billing city, billing country, state, all those things. Company name. Let's discuss this company name. Now, once you are done with your data raptor, then you need to create another data raptor. This time you need to make it as a transform. Okay, there you need to pass this thing, and this is the field that you want to display. Okay, here you need to write the input JSON. In input JSON, you need to write whatever the output of your extract action. Here the output of the extract action is company name. So this company name become the input of our data raptor transform. Okay, and then it is asking you what will be the output here. So you just need to write the output. That is it. Okay, so your transform will always start with the feeding of your actual values. Okay, so all those values you can see are coming like this only. All the line items are now converted into line items, and the same thing we have used in our template also. Company name, right? The C and N caps in mid, there is a hashtag, sorry, underscore. Same goes here also. Company name, underscore, and then name, where N is caps. So all those things we basically do from here itself. Okay, you can check this is the binding, and this is how the data will return. Okay, this is how basically it works. When you feed the information and when you do that, you will see this is how it is working. And once you do this, you need to control, you need to pass those values to the extract actions, right? You also check if there's a template I have already created. Yeah, this one. Let me, whatever we have discussed, let's discuss here only. Here, the name that we have given is multi-site code. Okay, the type here is document type. Language is English. This will always be JSON. I have used data raptor. Then what is the mapping that we have used this, and what is the this mapping basically transform. Okay, and this is something extract action. And then it asks you which object you want to use, and these things you need to make it as a default. Okay, so this is the basic configuration that you need to do in terms of templates, and there you need to drag the same template, and this is the same template that we have used actually. Multi-site code, right? This is the same template that I was referring. Okay, same template. All these variable bindings are same. Once you do this thing, you have completed the creation of your template, you also completed your data raptor and transform. Then the next thing that you need to do, you need to call this from somewhere, right? For doing a call, you need to rely on the OmniScripts. So there is an OmniScript also. Let me show you that. But let me first walk you through. First thing that is asked is the object ID. So let it, since it's a code, so let me check if we have any code. Okay, we don't have a code. Okay, let me create a code and then we can start the flow. Just a second, I think I also need to create a opportunity. Okay, so there are opportunities. I can use this one. Hmm. Give me a second. Let me create a record. Also open this. So this is a code. Okay. Wait a second. Actually, let me set up the data. Otherwise, it will not show anything in the PDF. Created lists. This is native sales rules. So I'm just inserting 2 line items in the code so that our data will, our PDF will return something. Otherwise, it will not show and bypass all those things because the variables will not return anything there. Okay, so let's copy this and go here. So I have used one code. Doing the next. Okay, next thing that it will ask which type of template you want to use. Let's say we want to use this document template. Okay, and then it is a single. I will tell you what is single and multi document. Let's first select the single document only. When you do the next, it will pick what template we have already. So we have this template, right? Multi-site code. It automatically pick that. We need to check this and click next. And then it will do the document generation. So here it is generating the documents. And that document is basically stored in, yeah, here you can see the document is generated. It will load the document or you can also download it. So let's download it first. Okay, you can see now those variables that we have used are taking the values. These are the product summary, right? Let me open this also. So here it will ask you the product summary, and then it is asking you which type of data. Since I think this condition is false, so what it does, it simply redirect us here where it asking is, it is displaying the product name and the quantity. So here if you see, it is displaying product name and the quantity, and then the static values, and there is a this line it is written. So let's try to make this variable true and then render this data. Okay, so let me first show you what this variable is doing. Okay, so this flow you basically this you need to follow when you basically want to display any PDF or something that you have created. Okay, you also get download buttons, and if you want you can also send the mail. Okay, these options that this OmniScript already providing. Same thing we need to configure. If you check this OmniScript, what it is doing, it is taking the value. Let me actually go preview, show you the data. Here you will see it created the quote ID, sorry, document ID, right? This is the template ID. Yeah, PDF generated ID. This you need to take care. Whenever you want to configure any email action, this ID you need to pick. This is nothing but the doc ID that it generated. Let me show you this. Okay, and if you download, you will see this is the same PDF that got generated. Okay, so whenever you want to refer, you always need to refer this ID. Okay, this ID you always need to refer whenever you want to make any email action or not. Okay, now let me go back and show you this variable. Now let's talk about this, how we can add those variables and from where this basically needs to true or false. For that we need to rely on data raptor. Okay, this raptor, let me first open this. Okay, stop level predict. This is the line and this is the name of the variable. You can see here it is taking the value. Let me also copy this value and show you options transform. So this is converting into this if top line product, right? And if you go back, the value that it is generating based on this formula. And this is nothing but a if condition. If line number, if variable line number is null, then it will be false. So that means there is a something called line number that we need to provide any value inside line number. So let me go there. Any value inside line number. Yeah, this line number is blank, right? So let me add anything. Test one. Save it. Actually, this one. line number. Now if I go and run this again, step doing the next. This time I'm selecting doc template, and inside single I'm selecting multiple doc templates, right? So multiple doc templates mean it now provides us an option to export in a different view, different formats. Previously it was only giving us the option to export it in document. Now it is giving you option to export in document and PDF also. Okay, document and PDF. So let's first download the document. But now even if you select this option, it will not load the data, right? So that is something. Yeah, now you will see it is returning the table this time. Where there's a, this is the name and this is the table that we have used, right? So all those things now it is returning. Okay. And here also you will see PDF is option is also available. Sorry, this PDF option is also available now. So this way we use it. What, let me now give a recap whatever we have discussed, and then we'll talk about this OmniScript. First of all, you need to create a template. You need to name the template. You need to check what type of document you have, whether it is a doc type or PPT type. Okay. You need to then do changes on your doc type, and you need to make list out these three things. Where are the string dynamic values, where the list dynamic values, and where what are the conditions you need to use, right? If it is a string values, you need to directly name it something. Directly name some wise name, because the intention is when someone read those names, they need to identify what actual value that variable is handling. Okay, so that you need to directly do in your template when you create, when you actually write those templates. Okay, same thing for lists, same thing for conditions. Once you are done with this, then you need to take care about the data. Okay, first you need to, by configuring, while you are configuring the templates, you need to identify what are the objects that are involved during that. Okay, let's say you find there are 3 or 4 or 5 objects that are involved. The next thing that you need to do is you need to cast your data raptor in such a way that there are not multiple nodes that you need to handle. Okay, when you see here, there we are calling in total 5 objects. Okay, but in the end of the day, when you actually check the JSON, you will only see there is only one parent node, which is line items. Rest all we have handled in one node itself. Okay, because we are not displaying this data from our OmniScript, we need to do the transform of this data, right? So wisely we need to handle the nodes also. Here our repetition is working on the line items. That's why we only use one parent node for line items. Even if there is no repetition, I will not use this line item. I will only create one tree, because it is always easy to handle in such a way, right? Now this is what we have done, right? Here you can see we have named it as line, and all this information under that is now line and those values, right? Product family, product name, all those things. Maybe this product family is coming from somewhere else, right? But still we have casted it into that way. Once you're done with your data raptor, then you need to create a transform. Okay, for creating transform, you need to select the transform action, and there you need to go and define whatever you have feeding here as output will be treated as an input. Okay, and this value you directly refer to your templates, where your line item is nothing but your let me open that, is it is nothing but your this list. Okay, and after line item, see line items, and then all this quantity, this will be the child of line items. If I go here, you will see line items like OPT, OTC values, quantity QTY, right? Same things we have used here also, QTY, right? So all those values one after one list will be coming like this. Okay, you can also check this thing here. So all those things that you're seeing, they are always gonna be inside this list in your template, then only it will work. Because because at data raptor transform side, you need to take care which value you are sending and what is the actual from where it is driving to. This value quantity is driving from the this list. So that's why you have used this option. And since we want to make our life easy, so we always use this line, which is coming from here on only. Okay, we can at this level we can create multiple nodes, but if there are multiple nodes, we need to take care those parentheses also, right? That's why we have I mean, it is clear, right? We created this structure because we want a separation between quote values and line values. There are a couple of fields at quote level which is not driven by quote object. There are other objects also, but we have controlled this with the help of JSON tree. Okay, with the help of that same value we have used here for the transform. We cannot use directly data raptor extract actions. We can't use directly data raptor extract action. So we introduced a transform and then we casted those values like this only. So all the variables are there or those, all the lists are those, even this if condition. Since this if condition is part of your line item, so this is like that only. Okay, and to answer the question how this value will be true and false is this. You need to either here, if it is, let's say the first option is it is directly coming from any value or any field value, you can directly give it like this only, right? You can define this value from your data raptor and it will automatically take care of true or false. But let's say it is coming from any logic, that logic you need to write inside the formula here. But make sure whatever value you are returning, this value needs to be true or false only. Okay, clear? So this is about the data prospects. Once you set up the data, then you need to trigger, then you need to call this template somewhere, right? So see this flow that they generated. This is something which is asking you to get so many things, right? It is asking you to do that, to do this, right? But at your level, you only need to take care about the ID which is generated, which is this PDF ID. Okay, you just need to follow those steps to generate this ID. Once you get the generate ID, you can easily create this PDF actions, right? Those things we need to take care. Any question? Guys, any questions? Anything you want me to repeat?
Have we, like, I think the extract action something I'm not able to recall. Maybe I missed something. From extract, how to use the extract from output of extract, how we can use on the transform data raptor.
Right.
That's something new, right? Sure.
You mean transform?
Yes. So have we used it? I think we used the till extract. I think transform something is new. I guess.
Right, right. So this transform is actually meant to follow this only, these type of things only. See, uh, at OmniScript level, we can directly use extract actions because we are inside the JSON. OmniScript can also understand JSON. But apart from OmniScript, wherever we need to follow the information, wherever, even if you want to send anything to Apex class also, okay, and the information is coming from your data raptor. In that case, you need to transform this information. So let me actually quickly create a transform. Yeah, OmniScript. You click new. Okay, there we need to select this transform option. Okay, then input source JSON, output source JSON. Okay, if it is, you can see those things, right? Those also custom means anything apart from transform. I mean, any apart from velocity. If it is VO pages, then you sorry, if it is Apex class, you need to use custom. In most of the cases, we use JSON only. Okay. Same thing here also. You will see JSON, and this is object type is input type is this, output type is document template, right? Same here also. You need to select document template. See, PDF. Let me also tell you this DocSign. Previously, when Velocity doesn't support this document template, they use this DocSign approach. What is DocSign approach? Basically, it is providing us an option where we can directly make PDF as a editable. Okay, you have heard the concept, right? PDF, editable PDF, right? So if you want, if you have a license of editable PDF, then you can directly use DocSign. This will also work. But in most of the cases, people use either this or JSON. JSON for normal stuffs. So here we need to select the document template, right? Then it is asking us this option, template output. Here we need to select our template, right? So it is asking which template you want to use. So we can directly use this template and then name it test. And we can save it. Okay, so this way the actual information got saved. What it asks us which, what is the input that you will give me and what is the output that you are expecting and where this output is actually linked. Those things it asks us. Then in the transform, we need to go and simply start the interactions. Here we will, one thing that you have observed, we have not binded any objects. Okay, because your transform doesn't care about objects. It is not directly interacting with cell source object. It is interacting with something which is feeding as a JSON. Okay, now here we need to define all the outputs of this lib. Like here the output is it is transformed, right? Let's say this, we call it company name. So this company name, which is the output of our extract action, will be the input of our transform. Okay, and here we need to write the actual name, and it will automatically take all those values from your code. Okay, from your template, you can see all those values that we have defined in the template. It will automatically take care about those things. That's why it says first we need to define the template, and then whatever values that it's coming, we need to name it wisely so that we can identify which value we want to pick. So we can directly choose those values. Okay, and it will automatically take care it's as a text. So when, let's say I have used line item. Okay, let me write this thing. Actually take the input as a line item, which is here. Let's say this. Okay, I go there and I use this, and here again I have used line, right? So I need to take care which line item product family I have used here. Okay, so let's say this is the product. I don't find any value for product family. Let's say this is the product family. So it will automatically map those things also. You can see what is the line item dot mrc name. So this mrc name is linked with this family. Okay, hope this makes sense, right? Does it answer your question?
Yes, but while defining the transform, how there is no link we are saying, right? They like this is the extract from which the transformation has to happen.
No, we will not directly define the input source of transform from transform. We need to define those things in the template itself.
Okay, I'm trying to understand how that extract is linked with the transformer. Okay,
No,
okay, here it is.
see, here we need to write the actual source, and then we need
Okay,
this is the extract action, and there we need to define the transform. So let me tell you how it works basically. When you call this from any VF, sorry, from any Omnis script, at that time you always have the data, right? Because this transform is taking the value from your Omnis script only, right? The initial value taking from there only. Then it will use this transform. It will call this transform and then convert those values and so basically your template and transform will work together. And before they start working, you need to load the actual data which is in the extract format. Okay, now let's quickly jump to OmniScript. Where is yeah, here. Now let's take a close look on what this OmniScript is doing. See, this OmniScript is very specific on generating document PDF. It is not something you will click and it will send the PDF. Okay, so the intention of this OmniScript is to identify us what are the possible options where we can generate the documents. In our actions, we just need to focus what we need to care about these things. Email actions. In most of the time, you need to send those email actions basically. Okay, so the source you need to identify from where you're taking the template type. Here it is template type, right? What is the template type you're picking? All those things we need to take care. Okay, and for that we need to let's start from this type. It is asking us which type. It is nothing but a pick list, right? It is asking now what it is doing. It is querying on this object basically, quote object, template object basically. Now it is taking, it is asking you where clauses, right? First it is asking you which type of template you selecting, whether it's a web template or doc template or PPT template. And then it is asking you if it is a web template that you want to select for single document or multi document, right? Same here also, it is maintaining a formula here. Then it is doing this extract action where it is doing get document template. So this data raptor is doing nothing but calling the template itself. Let me open this. Okay, that's a extract action, which is actually calling your document template. Okay, and all those things that we have given here, it is checking this, like it needs to be active. The mapping source should be JSON based, and this format needs to be template type. Okay, those things we have already asked users here. What is the template type basically, right? We have asked whether it is a web template, document template, and PPT template. Now it is doing the extract action to call the actual template, and this it is using to load the data. Let me show you this also. Okay, it is basically doing a load of this data. I think it is maintaining the output based on the formulas only. Uh, this is extract. Yeah, right. So type JSON based template ID. They are the same. I think we can deactivate one of them because they are doing the same job. There's a change in the output. There is a multi document and there's a document template. Now let's go ahead and check why there's two templates. But the intention is clear, right? They have asked what is the type of template you want to use. Then they have directly used extract action to call that particular query. They make a query to call the template directly, right? And then there's a pick list where they are showing you the document type. Yeah, right. Got it. See, in our cases, let me open this. Yeah, let me take a preview. Just a second. Okay, so this is the first screen, right? Now let's discuss how we can call our template. Okay, how we can call a template from the OmniScript. Clear? First thing that it is asking is what is the object ID? Why it is asking object ID? Because that's the triggering point. This quote ID is requiring to drive and fill the data to the template. So this is the first screen. It is asking us what is the type, what is the object ID you want to pass. The next screen it is saying now why it is asking us which type of template we want to use, because based on our selection it will do the query. And where it will do the query, it will do the query on the document template record. Okay, and it is using uh, those two data raptors. Okay, this is the output path name. Extract, this is the name of the path document type. Okay, clear? And this is the name of the record, which is velocity related object. Here it is clear, right? Let's say we have created a template for document template, right? Then the moment we select document template, then now it is asking, do you want to see single document or multiple document? Why these two options? Because single document will give us an option where we can directly view the generated PDF. Okay, multiple doc type basically give us an option where we can export the templates into different formats, maybe document format and based on the PDF options as well, right? So these two options they have given, and based on that they are basically casting those two data raptors. They are firing those two data raptors. We have selected doc type and let's say we have selected single document and doing the next. In that case, this single document template pick list will work here. And uh, yes, selectable item they have basically used because they want to maintain this field, right? And then they have set values, they are maintaining some values in the set values, and based on them they are driving the remote actions also. So in short, whatever they are doing, we only need to take care about these two things. You need to first query your template, you need to drive the ID, and then that ID you need to send to the email part. Okay, do one thing, just follow this Omni script. Okay, then you will get an idea why I'm not explaining all this in OmniScript, because in our project we actually don't need to follow all those steps. They are calling this because they want to demonstrate how a template get loaded to a OmniScript. Our intention is not to load the template. Our intention is only call the template and send whatever this template content to an email. So we don't need to take care all those actions also, like PPT options and all those things. We directly need to call this email option. And for email option, like I said, you need to take care about what is the ID that got generated. Okay.
The email template, sorry, the OmniScript that what we saw there, it's like a out of the box from Velocity itself.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Uh, yeah, the OmniScript right now we are seeing right here. This is the one. It is. It's out of the box, not the custom built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So just follow those things. Maybe that PDF action we will discuss tomorrow. That PDF action is actually completely depends on the editable formats. Let's say let's discuss that topic tomorrow. In most of the time, we will not go for PDF actions because if any dynamic value we need to provide any PDF which is editable there, and then only it will work. So that is something which is completely useless in most of the time. So we directly go and configure this approach. Okay, let's discuss tomorrow and discuss about other topics. Right, thanks.
Thank you.